What is up, everyone? Thanks again for stopping by for the latest on the Buffalo State Bengals. After the video, I really encourage you to check out the full article recapping this game. It's going to be at the first link in the description. But thanks for stopping by and enjoy the video.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Matthew Barton. I am back at it, but I'm not at Quarter Field today. I am here at the St. Francis High School Athletic Center, as you can see behind me. And you might be wondering, high school. I'll get into that, why we're at a high school field at the moment. But today we are here for the matchup between the Buffalo State Bengals and the Hilbert Hawks. Yes, another Hawks team, if you guys remember the Hartwick Hawks 2 weeks back. September 27th here, a 12 p.m. kickoff, and we have two 0-3 teams actually matching up today. So really, it's perfect matchmaking. Two 0-3 teams who are honestly coming off. Now, I don't want to say a devastating loss for the Bengals, but just the fact that it's the third loss in a row makes it even worse. I wasn't able to make it to the last Bengals game, which was at Alfred State, and the Bengals lost 56-20. You know, Alfred State's a good team, good program. The Hilbert Hawks actually lost 65-3 last game against Ithaca. I guess the only thing that the Bengals should worry about in terms of that loss is that the Bengals are going to be facing Ithaca in a couple weeks on November 1st. Really, both teams just struggle defending the run and putting offensive drives together. So like I was saying, it's almost a perfect matchup. It is a blazing hot September day. We are getting an extended summer here in Buffalo, New York. And yeah, like I was saying, I'm at St. Francis High School's Athletic Center right now, about a 19-minute drive from the Buffalo State campus. And Hilbert actually does not have their own collegiate field, so that is why they're here at St. Francis High School. If you can see behind me, St. Francis actually shares a logo with the 49ers, which is cool. It's a very even matchup. The Hawks only have 3 total touchdowns this season, and the Bengals only have 7, so 4 more. I mean, it's a completely even matchup here. So this could either be the greatest game of all time, two evenly matched teams, or it could be the worst game of all time when you're matching up two teams who have poor play. This is actually the first Liberty League matchup for the Bengals this season. That is the, division that they're in. An example kind of being, AFC and NFC in the NFL. Nothing has changed too much. We really have 2 outstanding players from the Bengals. That is Jetty Higdon and Keegan Whitfield. Higdon actually scored 2 touchdowns last game against Alfred State. And Whitfield had yet another 100-yard game with a touchdown on top of it. So those 2 guys are killing it. We are expecting to see more out of them today here at St. Francis. But the QB question is actually still at hand for the Bengals, unfortunately. They did some work with Kimball last week, and Landon LeDuc, number 17, actually went in a little bit. He played the first game as well. So we'll see who they start off with today at quarterback. Some notes on the Hawks. They also have quarterback troubles. Brady Hopkins is their go-to guy at the moment. 2 interceptions on the year to start. They have the 2 running backs. Kristen Hamilton Jr. and Mike Hanlon are the 2 running backs that the Bengals have to be worried about today. And, they haven't had crazy games, but a lot of running backs have had crazy games against the Bengals thus far. So we'll see if those running backs have a breakout game. Maybe a new player from the Bengals will have a breakout game. But we look to see huge defensive plays again from Sincere Green, Isaiah DeCamp. Overall, pregame, we are about 10 and a half minutes out from kickoff. I really just want to see the Bengals get a win here and get their confidence up, because they're going to be heading back to Quarter Field next week for the homecoming game in front of all the parents, all the students. And it would be awesome to go into that one with a win. So we're going to get rolling on the first quarter. And I actually did get some field access for some pregame photos. Unfortunately, they were kind of heading back to the locker room, so I got a couple of them kind of heading back. But this one should be a good game, so I'm excited. And also, I got a new Bengals shirt. What do y'all think? Drop in the comments. Appreciate everyone for stopping by, and let's get into the game. The score is 8-8 after a long half between the Buffalo State Bengals and the Hilbert Hawks here at St. Francis High School's field. The Hawks won the toss to start off the first quarter, giving the Bengals the ball to start the game. And unfortunately, it kind of picked up where they left off. Penalties and just being unable to complete drives. We did actually see number 8, Noah Kimball, get the nod to start. So I believe that is who the Bengals are going to be going with, barring injuries, barring a poor performance. But so that's the Bengals guy this season. Kind of just as I was talking about earlier in the game, Mike Hanlon, number 22, and Christian Hamilton Jr. were really the two leaders of the Hawks running game. The Bengals, once again, just really couldn't stop the run at all. It was kind of unfortunate. But very early into this first quarter, we actually saw an unfortunate injury happen on the field. The ambulance came on the field. Number 21, Jaden Coriano of the Bengals, was actually unfortunately carted off in an ambulance from this field. Some rumblings from the crowd said that he'll be okay, but, we're going to pray for him, make sure that everything's good with that. So that really put a halt on just the entire game. Teams were saying prayers on sidelines. It almost felt like kind of a reset after that happened. And I think it honestly cost the Bengals just that immediate drive following the injury. The Hawks were able to just basically run the ball up the gut, right in the Bengals' mouths the whole drive following the injury. And it cost the Bengals big time. Number 9 for the Hawks, Joseph Edick, was able to cash the ball in for 6 points. And believe it or not, we had a big man 2-point conversion. Number 99, Clifford Ziegler from the Hawks, was able to cash in a bonus 2 points to make it 8-0 Hawks early in the first quarter. Really, it was a lot of penalties from the Bengals. It almost felt like a penalty chess match in a way, where the Bengals would get a penalty, the Hawks would get a penalty, but then at the end of the day, the Bengals would be the ones that ended up getting more and costing them. But the second quarter was honestly went by very quick. I think it's just because we had the ambulance in the first quarter to kind of slow down the game, but the second quarter flew by, and the Bengals actually got some points out of it. But it didn't start like that. From the first quarter heading into the second quarter, the Bengals were literally chomping on the bit, ready to score. And believe it or not, they fumbled deep in their own end. Fumbled snap, so I guess it wasn't as bad. It's still terrible, but it's not as bad as, somebody running it and fumbling with it. But another turnover for the Bengals, as we saw in the other Hawks game, the Hartwick Hawks game, that really just cost them the game. But yeah, like I was kind of saying pre-game, the running game for the Hawks is really paying off. They almost have like a three-headed dragon in a way with Hanlon, Hamilton Jr., and also Joseph Edick. It really felt like, there wasn't too much scoring in the first half. Like I mentioned, it's only 8-8. But at a point, it felt like the Bengals were drained. I mean, you could hear a pin drop, it felt like, at some points. The fans weren't loud. The sideline wasn't loud. There was definitely some weird moments, and that injury might play into that, why it's kind of like the momentum, and there's not a lot of energy. Because, let me tell you, energy was off the charts to start the game for the Bengals. Just as the Bengals continuously shot themselves in the foot with penalty, a miracle happened. Number 0 for the Bengals, Emerald Smart, got a huge game-changing interception, and it honestly turned the tide for the Bengals. There were some points after the pick. Everyone in the crowd were like, please get some points out of this, and they did. So deep in Hawks territory, like I said, Emerald Smart got the interception, and it honestly, following that, it was a first down, and then the Bengals kind of got right to it. We had a nice pass, kind of like an out route by Mekhi Johnson. Noah Kimball found him. I believe it was like a 10-yard pickup for a touchdown, so that was super exciting. And believe it or not, in the back of my head, I was like, they missed just about every field goal, or they missed just about every extra point at the last game I was at. Will they go for it? But no, they went for the 2-point conversion, and Noah Kimball ran it in, ties it up at 8-8. So this is where we sit at the halftime point of the game. Bengals are back on the field, as you can see behind me. But it is 11 minutes to go here, and we're in for a good second half. It's basically 0-0, you know what I mean? So the Hawks are starting with the ball here. And yes, once again, I did do just a halftime update. I don't know. The Bengals were kind of like in a pretty big moment from quarter to quarter, so I didn't want to like drop ship, come over here and film a little segment for everyone. But yeah, it's been a great game so far. If I do hear any updates on number 21's injury, I will obviously update you all. But yeah, a lot of Bengals fans here too, which is great to see. So we're going to enjoy the second half of this game. Thank you everyone who has tagged along for this first half, and we'll see what the second half has in store. I'm ecstatic to inform you that the Buffalo State Bengals have officially won their first game of the season, defeating the Hilbert Hawks 15-8 in an absolute pandemonium at the end of the game. That's all I can explain to it. But to not go too far ahead of myself. So yes, the final score, 15-8 Bengals defeating the Hawks. And let's bring it back to the third quarter for a second. If you guys remember 2 games ago, Caleb Krzyzewski, number 43 on the Bengals, blocked a punt. He did it again this game. He blocked the punt, and it set up. It kind of was a momentum shift in a way. The Bengals were able to capitalize after that block punt deep in the Hawks' end. Just wanted to move locations quickly. But yes, following that block punt, the Bengals were able to capitalize. And Noah Kimball had a nice short touchdown pass to number 18, Otho Cox of the Bengals. And guess what? They made the extra point. So that's how they got to 15-8 for the Bengals. Then following that, it was honestly, despite leading, the Bengals were honestly on the ropes for a lot of the third and fourth quarters, just because of the fact that, honestly, I think the defense was wearing down. The Bengals defense won them this game, no matter how you want to look at it. Multiple turnovers, taking the ball away. Just an all-out great performance. But the Hawks were driving on multiple occasions, and the Bengals defense was able to come through on multiple occasions, stopping them from scoring again. And 9 seconds on the clock. This is kind of where I'll end this off. After a back-and-forth second half, Emerald Smart, number 0, gets his second, yes, I said that right, second interception of the day. This one is a little bit more sweeter. It sealed the game for the Bengals. And there was a flag immediately after the interception. It literally had myself as well as all the Buffalo State fans going crazy, but they were able to, get it done. So I think what I'm going to do, I would love to sit here and talk with y'all. I think I'm going to try to get on the field right now and get some nice pictures for the school newspaper. But check out the article down below for a full recap. These videos are kind of just to document my experience at the game. But I'm going to go try to get some pics of the team. So if you guys enjoyed, drop a like, comment, subscribe. My name's Matthew Barton, reporting for myself and the Record. And let's go Bengals. First win of the season. We'll see you at homecoming.